Hello, everybody. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Corey.
Every week we discuss and review a new book, movie, album, TV show, or honestly any piece of art or culture that ourselves and you guys choose. This is Mind Control. So there was these people who were being kidnapped and mind controlled.
Exactly, dude. And I can totally see how that happened. Because, like, imagine if you were just given acid or just drugs like that are so disorienting for hours and hours on end and never being able to come down and not feeling safe and having somebody tell you things and accuse you of things, you know? Yeah.
Mind control. That's how we do it, baby. GG's Mind Control.
On today's episode of Mind Control, we are going to be discussing the 2009 Gaspar Noe film, Enter the Void. It was written and directed by Gaspar Noe, who is a one-of-a-kind director known for pushing the boundaries with his highly shocking and highly innovative films, often depicting the brutality of human nature. With films such as Garnet, Irreversible, and Climax, Gaspar Noe has become both loved and hated for his shocking films. The subject for today's episode, Enter the Void, was released in 2009 and stars Nathaniel Brown, Paz de la Huerta, and Cyril Roy. The movie was filmed primarily in Tokyo, but some of the flashback scenes were filmed in Montreal. Enter the Void is a film about a drug dealer named Oscar who was murdered by the police shortly after coming down off of a DMT trip. His spirit then travels through flashbacks of his life leading up to his demise, as well as allowing him to witness the aftermath of his death and how it affects his sister and friends, eventually ending with the process of rebirth. Loosely based off the process of dying detailed in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the film has achieved both high praise as well as high criticism, as Gaspar Noe films often do. The film is truly innovative in its use of visuals for both effect and storytelling. This is Gaspar Noe's Enter the Void. Yo, how's everybody doing? What's up? Welcome to Mind Control.
Hello.
Enter the Void.
It's been a long time coming. They've been waiting.
Yes, they have been waiting. They've been fiending for it.
It's so funny, dude. I don't know where that fucking memory came, because that's the reason that we didn't do it, is because I had a memory that there was that the dude died from an overdose, and I don't know what the fuck that came from.
You know, that's what I was waiting for in the beginning. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's not what happens. Because I thought I thought like the police busted in the room and were gonna shoot him when he was in the bed. So I was waiting for it, and it didn't. And then after, I was like, oh shit, dude. But I mean, it was what did you think of it? I guess might as well just get into it.
I'll start it off. Well, it's kind of a lot for me to get into, because I want to get into like the fact that I watched it before when I was peaking on acid and stuff like that. Oh, that's true. You know, so I have a lot to get into. Maybe you should go first, because I'm curious. I'm more curious of that, because I've kind of already talked about it.
Yeah. So for me, it was like I said, dude. The intro is fucking amazing. Like, it's still going on in the background. It's so fucking cool, like visually, and the music that's playing. And honestly, the first hour and a half, I thought the movie was like, I was like, oh shit, like this is better than what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be so like, I don't know, like so artsy that almost like, you know, where it's kind of boring. Like and the first hour and a half was, like the second half. Like the
second half was what you expected.
Yeah. So in the first half, I was like, oh, this is dope. But then at like, because I think I told you, I read that there's, I guess, two versions: the 2 hour and 20-minute version and 2 hour and 40. I forget why that is. I don't think there's a particular reason that there's two versions. I think it just got cut down for like for the like
US.
Time-wise.
Yeah, for the US versions, and in some other country it was shortened.
Yeah, so the one because I bought the movie, so the one I have is the 2 hour and 40-minute one. So like around like an hour and 55 minutes, I was like, okay, like, because the first hour and a half I was like amazing. The last 25 minutes of that, after that, I was like, okay, this is cool. I was like, I'm guessing it's winding down soon, like it's gonna end. And then I hit the time thing, and I was like, what the fuck? I still got like an hour left. I was like, no fucking way. Like, you know, so the last hour, I'm not going to lie, I could have done without. But the first like hour and a half, 2 hours, like if they would have kept it to that, if he would have kept it to that time, I thought it was amazing. Like, I love the first person perspective, the blinks. I love the feel of it when he's doing the drugs. I love the way the city looks. I love the big enter and then the void. And I just like how it's all placed in there. And so it is like visually and like sound wise and like as a like a cool film, like it was cool, you know. I just felt like it did get a little long, where I was like, all right, this is kind of tedious now. Whereas like that's why I wanted to ask if you saw Climax. I feel like Climax is very crazy, but it's done in an amount of time where it's just so fucking crazy. Then it's just like then it's done. Like, you know, it doesn't go where it's like, oh shit, like is this gonna end soon? You know. But it has similarities too, though. I feel like Climax, especially the beginning and visually, and they both have to do with psychedelics. Like,
when did you watch Climax?
Probably like 6. No, actually, no. Fuck, dude, this whole pandemic thing's been a while. It was like a little bit before it started because I was still working at Rhino, and I went to the video store to rent movies, and that was one of the movies I rented, and that was the first movie I've seen by him before Enter the Void, and that shit was. Man, that one's you should watch it.
Is it like a dancing movie, like for real?
Bro, it's a dance. The first half of the movie is like pretty much all dancing, but it's so fucking cool, the dancing and just the way the dancers he gets, because most of the actors aren't even actors. I think there's only like 3 or 4 actual actors. The rest of them are actual dancers that he went and found. And dude, the dancing is crazy. And then you mix in just like the idea of what's happening with the drugs and how crazy it gets, and it's kind of cool the way the dance almost transforms into, like, at first it's just feels like this really cool liberating thing, and then later it's like almost like animalistic and brutal, because you see points of dancing all throughout the movie, you know, even when it's getting crazy there's still some dancing going on, and it's just but yeah, it's about a dance troupe who goes to practice, and they've never really been together before, but they're there for like a couple days, and then someone spikes the punch, and they're all just dancing, and then it just descends into like it's fucking like chaotic. And but that one, honestly, visually and sound wise, that one, especially sound wise, is honestly probably one of the closest I've ever seen an acid trip, like especially like a crazy acid trip, like at night at a party rave scene, like done so well. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what happens is so fucking crazy. It's like the worst possible scenario to ever be in on that. But like the way it sounds and shit, I remember like it was almost uncomfortable to watch. Like it gave me like the heebie-jeebies. Like, oh my god, like I totally like, ugh, I could feel what this would feel like if you were on acid, and it would be just the worst. Yeah. But back to this movie. This movie, like, I like this movie. So it was good, but it was a little too long for me, and I didn't like it. But then I read about how I didn't read, but I remember in the beginning of the movie, he's talking about the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and his friend is, and I fucking have that book. I bought it at Rhino, and I had never gotten around to read it, but I bought it because I don't know, I don't remember if it was Timothy Leary or Aldous Huxley. I don't remember who it was. Aldous Huxley, somebody. It was somebody like that though. Talked about how that book could be used like to navigate almost trips too, and like DMT. So that's why I had like bought it. But then they talked about it in this movie, and like that's literally what the movie's a lot about, like that whole light thing, and then him dying, experiencing death, and then going through his life and being reborn. Like that's all the whole Tibetan Book of the Dead is. It's all about a process of dying. I think they talk about it in the Immortality Key too, like really briefly. I think they brought it up like because it's all about. Yeah, it's all about the process of dying. And like these are like the words you're supposed to read the people when they're dying. You're supposed to be there to try to guide them so their spirit, because what they say, what happens is you see the light, and a lot of people, the light is so bright and so almost like terrifying, especially if you have bad karma, that most people are like repelled by it, and they go to like a lesser light, which is more like worldy things. And because of that, they keep getting trapped. And there's like 3 stages, and like they each last a certain amount of days. And then like but I think the whole process was like 14 days or 21 days, something like that. And if you don't reach the light by the end of that time and the end of each stage, it gets harder too, the longer you go on to reach this. Yeah. Like the farther you go in, that means the worse karma you kind of have. So it's harder to reach this. But if you can reach, I mean, if you can get the light, then you kind of get out of this life cycle. But if not, then you get reborn. And that's kind of what you want to avoid. You want to avoid the rebirth. Like that's the main goal of the book, like to go towards that light. And you've probably heard about it on DMT. I remember reading stories on Arrowhead where they talk about that when people do DMT, that they've had like beings or things tell them, oh, come over here, come here, and most people don't want to stay, which isn't, I know it's not the exact same thing, but that's why people say that this book could also be used for psychedelics too, because the similarities, like we did on the last episode with the immortality key, like the similarities between dying and like strong psychedelic trips are not that big of a difference. Like they're very like, and that's what this whole book is about, the process of dying. And I feel like that's what he was trying to, because I just watched an interview and he talks about he doesn't believe in an afterlife or rebirth. And but this movie, so I'm guessing that's just like he used that book as a reference though, because that's like what's happening. He's like traveling, and that's like, they have the scenes with the light a couple times, and then at the end there's that rebirth.
So if you were to say like, what do you think the movie is about? Is it actual? Because in my research, I've seen that there's a lot of different ideas as to what the movie really is, and it's not necessarily 100% one thing or another, and he leaves it kind of open to your interpretation. So what is your interpretation of it? Would it be like a complete visualized example of like the reincarnation depicted in the Book of the Dead, or would it be did his DMT trip never end? Is this all part of his trip, or is it all a dream?
No.
And did he die and then is it all just a part of his death? And there's a lot of different ideas as to what the movie is. I'm just curious what you think. I'll tell you what I think.
So I definitely do not think it's that the DMT trip never ended, because like one of the things I did read when I was starting, because I started to go through reviews the other day too, just to see what people said like at the time. And like a lot of people talk about the movie, I feel like he gets killed during the DMT trip, like while he's tripping on DMT. But like, just like I know, even though we haven't done it, it's like, that's by that point, by the time him walking to that bar and shit, he wouldn't have been under the influence anymore. Like he might have still felt weird, but it definitely took him longer than like 15-20 minutes to get that call. He was already like 5 minutes in that trip. Like, so like I don't think it was still the DMT trip. I when I first saw it, I honestly thought it was just like, he got killed and he was showing us like the spirit, traveling back and forth and watching the after effects of his life and what happened. But now after reading Tibetan Book of the Dead, I think that's what it is. I think the movie's like he dies, his spirit goes through the first stage, and then I think after that they don't really specify the stages at all. They just go through his life, because I don't think it's supposed to be word for word Tibetan Book of the Dead. I think it's just like a loose reference. But then I think it's about how like, he's just traveling and then he ends up being reborn. He goes through because he's obviously alive for a long time, and in the book it's like 21 days, and like I would say that could be a fair guesstimate of like the amount of time that's shown after he dies, because his sister goes through various things and shit. I mean, I guess it could be even longer too, that he sticks around, so not exact, but I feel like he's sticking around and seeing like the after effects. And I don't know if he after watching the interview that I just watched, I was like, I don't know if he believes that like bad karma would, because he doesn't believe in the afterlife. So I don't know. So
to just
up in the air.
To go to in my research and in listening to all the interviews I've heard, and I even read a couple with him, his idea of what the movie is about is like a dream. He
I didn't know that.
The movie's like a dream. He in his words, he never really like firmly says anything, but he talks about how when he first wrote the movie that he believed in reincarnation and the Book of the Dead type of shit. He believed it. Okay. And now he does not. And I think that there's probably a lot of like, maybe, he did believe it at first and now he thinks it's a dream. And I think,
I know he wrote it when he was younger, right? And then it took a while to get it out, actually.
Yeah, he said like he wrote money. Yeah, he said that he wrote it when he during the shroom trip, that he came home and he turned on the TV and he saw this movie called Lady in the Water, some like French movie or something, and that it was shot in the first person, and that he just was super into it and was on shrooms, and that he had the idea like it'd be amazing if he could one day make that when he was like 20 or something like that. And then whenever he started to make it, I think he said it took him like 7 years to get it done, because of the financing, and he said that Irreversible, if not for you probably watched the same interview I saw, but just to repeat the information for people who haven't heard it, he said that Irreversible, which is his movie that he had made a few years before, about, a rape / hero story told in reverse, which I guess was a very controversial but big deal for him. Because Irreversible was made, that he was finally able to get the financing for Enter the Void. But to wrap that up, he basically, to my understanding, it seems like he believed, that the movie was one way, and then as time went on and as he grew as a person, he might have just kind of strayed away from that or changed his perspective. I think what he would say is that it's up to you, that it's probably like up to how you depict it. I would say I'll say what I think the movie is, and then I'll kind of just I'll start from the beginning and say what I think, and talk about the LSD trip and all that. But as far as what I think happened in the movie, I think it's how they talk about when you die, your life flashes before your eyes, or you kind of relive, or just how, like in near-death experiences, people say your life flashes before your eyes. Kind of
you see everything that happens. Yeah.
So I think it's kind of, in my opinion, I think it is this episode and this period of death, but I think it's mixed in with and told in this way that you would perceive your life as a spirit when you died, that you would have this being or have this vision of shit that's actually happening for a few days. Maybe that's just how strong the energy would be or whatever the fuck. But then also like you would have memories and feelings and things like that, and they would appear to you almost in out of order and in weird ways, in the ways that, like, he's having the memory of him and his sister on the roller coaster, and then all of a sudden as they go down, boom, it hits it's the car accident, just
they did that shit so many times.
I know. That's kind of what I took from it. The movie was depicting just this kind of psychedelic next world, other dimension way of life, a way that we can't perceive life, where time is not linear and everything kind of happens at once, and
you're
it's all
just
in between.
Jumping around.
Yeah. So that mixed with the
sense.
afterlife, kind of, in a way. That's how I perceived it.
Yeah.
So
I think
go ahead.
Go ahead. Because are you done with that review?
With that little part, then I'll talk about something else. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was just gonna say, because yeah, dude, I think even if, like, with the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I think that still could be like the vision. Because, like, when you read the book, like, it's not. I mean, it's pretty specific in certain things, but it's not specific what it would be like. Because it would be like a no time thing where it's just everything at once.
Yeah.
Which I do think was happening, because that's what, when I first saw it, that's what I thought. Because in the beginning, they show a lot more flashbacks in the beginning, and it's like, oh, okay, he's going through everything that happened up until his death, and then they show his death again, and then after they show a lot of the after things too. So that's why I think it's like the Tibetan, because of that after part where he sticks around for a while, sees what happens, and then it ends with. I mean, it could have been him being born again, but I took it as like a rebirth, this, like, he was being reincarnated, and
it was his mother that he was born to in the end, right?
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah.
So it's like,
I guess so. So it was like it was just like a cycle.
A loop.
So yeah, a loop. But
that's a form of reincarnation, I believe, that people say you just live the same life over and over. It's like an idea or a theory, I believe. I don't know if it's a religious thing or what, but I've heard that. Where they say you live the same life over and over and over until you do it perfectly, or I don't know.
Like Edge of Tomorrow.
Is that what it is?
Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
Am I thinking of a movie? I think it's a
no. You're right.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's an action movie, but it's dope as fuck, and he relives the same day until, like, but it ain't that deep though, But no, yeah, dude, I could totally see that, because about, like, if you would die, that is how it would look, because we only perceive time linear because of the way we perceive it, but it's not really that.
in the how sporadic the movie is and trippy it is, it's almost like his visual interpretation of what he would or what death is, and visualizing death is, or that spirit realm and those memories all getting thrown into one. So to basically talk about what I think about the movie, if you were to ask me that, I would say that I absolutely loved the movie. Absolutely. I would say it's top 10, one of my favorite movies. I wouldn't necessarily make it the argument that it's like one of the greatest movies per se. I honestly, when it really comes down to it, one of the things that's kind of been on my mind lately is like, I don't know if I want to be I don't want to say like what is or is not good or good not art or good or bad art.
Yeah.
Art is to be perceived by you. If you enjoy it, you fuck with Waka Flocka Flame, that's good for you. Enjoy that shit. I don't, but that's so it's not really, I kind of want to start wording things a certain way.
I know what you mean.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, no, I think we talked about this before where it doesn't, I don't want this to ever come off like we're reviewing the movie like, 2 thumbs up. Go
exactly.
see it. Because like I said, for me, the movie, it was not my favorite, but I will say like, as like an artist and what he's trying to do, and after reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead and seeing how he's trying to take this idea, maybe partly that is a very hard idea, I feel like, to translate to film or any medium really. It's like, it's cool that he does it. He does it pretty well, even if the effect kind of got lost on me towards the end. It is done really well where I'm like, oh shit, like not many people can make a movie about death and the afterlife and have it be pretty interesting, and like that's the one thing you can't, I mean, like I thought this was too long, but like you can never say like the movie was like fucking boring or something, like, it's definitely not that,
there were parts where it
got slow.
It gets I would say a bit prolonged, if anything. Prolonged in a sense of like that, but in a sense that almost like I'm kind of like, I forgive it because it gives you this sense of discomfort that it kind of challenges you. That's one thing I realized about this movie is that like, it's not meant to entertain you. It was not made to entertain. It's made to make you question shit. It's made to make you fucking experience something. It's more of an experience than a movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He's doing something different with filmmaking. He's trying to bring something you've never seen before.
Exactly.
And it's not trying to be like typical movie storytelling.
Exactly.
Linear. It's like
And I think that there's a big thing to say as to why I enjoy it so much, in the fact that I watched it the first time peaking on about like 60 to 75 micrograms of LSD and had headphones on, stood fucking a foot away from my screen, had it in 4K and full blast headphones, and how insane that fucking experience was. And like how fucking, like I totally forgot how enjoyable that was. Like when I watched this shit with the fucking like the intro, the words and shit, and how it just flashes so many different parts, I totally forgot how intense that fucking experience was. And like and as the movie went on, I started to remember. I'm like, oh, I remember this movie very well. But if you would have asked me what the movie was even about, it might have been hard for me to even put into words because I was so fucked up. But hold on real quick, bro. She keeps whining. Hold on. So experiencing it like that and then rewatching it a second time when I was on, I have these tincture shits, these fucking THC tinctures, and you put them underneath your tongue. Have you ever seen those things before?
Yeah, I've never actually used them though. Is it pretty good?
It's really dope, dude. It gives you almost like an edible type high, but pretty quickly, and they're really cheap. So it's like, not really cheap, but I got like this whole vial for $40, and it's like it's lasted me.
Do they? Does it last long? Like, how many drops do you need?
Not much. I have this whole vial, and it's like still almost to the top, and I've used it for like 4 days already, like pretty consistently. So I mean, it's definitely worth the money for sure. And
nice.
But I took a bunch of that shit right before I watched it. So watching it the second time and not being, especially, this is one of the first times I watched a movie for the podcast not drunk too. And I realized watching it not drunk was like a good idea.
It's definitely a different experience.
Yeah, like holy shit, like you definitely take in a lot more. So, and I was sat here right in front of my TV, had it full blast, and it was just a trippy ass experience. Like Monica watched it with me, and she was like, she enjoyed parts of it, and then and like certain parts, I was like, babe, Like, and she was just like, what the fuck? She was like, are you okay? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know. This is just tripping me out. It was a roller coaster. It was an experience. It was exactly what I like in a movie times 10. Although it was prolonged and it was a bit of, like I had to stretch a muscle to watch it, I guess, and to finish it. But it's kind of like, I think that what it is like I said, I can kind of forgive it because I get that the timing of it kind of might be there to present a sense of discomfort and to kind of challenge you to experience the movie a certain type of way. If anything, one of the thoughts that came through my mind is like, this movie might have been good if the length might have been okay if it was like an old timey theater you saw it in and there was an intermission. Like imagine an intermission in the middle, like a break. You go out, you have a smoke and chill and talk or whatever. Like if anything, I could see this movie being in 2 parts almost.
It definitely could be, because then when he dies the second time, it could have like ended right there,
or a mini series
started again.
It's like a fucking 3 episode mini series, bro. Like they could have easily done that.
No, I would agree though. Like a break in the middle would have been good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's just a weird thought I had. But I'll say I fucking love the movie. Definitely in my top 10 of all time, and it challenged me. But I just had this like, I don't know, this overwhelming enjoyment of it the second time I watched it. And I think maybe if you watch it, or if somebody watches it the second time, that you might enjoy it more the more you watch it, just like the Kid Cudi album.
We'll even get into that yet.
We'll get into that next.
But with this though, I think though, for sure, like if I had been able to see it in a movie theater, it would have definitely been I probably wouldn't have found it as boring, even without an intermission, just because being in a big screen, I guess like for me, like here, like, I mean, our TV's cool, but it's not like, like that experience in this, like you said, this movie is not something you're watching for like the story, really. Yeah. You're watching it for the experience of it. So like it would have definitely been cool to watch it on a bigger screen with a fucking blasting ass system and shit. But it is a good movie.
So imagine watching it with headphones on fucking acid, bro. It's I'm telling you, it was crazy. Remember I told you that I couldn't finish it because it made me really uncomfortable when I was on acid. And this is good to bring up. It made me super uncomfortable with just the incestual parts, the tragic parts, like the parts with the mom and dad, the parents, fucking horrible. But I could handle it when I was on acid. It was harder for me to watch it the second time, but either way, the fucking incestual aspect to it what gave me a bad trip, and I had to turn it off. When he smells her panties, that was like when I turned it off when I was tripping. And I was like, nope, let me just go. Nope, let me go listen to some music or something.
Incest is a theme that he uses in other movies too.
Is it? I thought you were gonna say incest is one of the most common symptoms of a bad trip or something. It's one of the leading causes of bad trips.
The incest is crazy, and because we're on this, I thought this was a really, really crazy scene too. Like he did it a couple times, and I thought it was weird, and I didn't know how to take it. Was when so he had this scene like when he's sucking on the girl's boob, and it's like it's almost sexy because they're about to have sex, and like the way the scene is right before that, it's like it's almost sexy, and then they flash to the baby sucking on the nipple. But then they do it later too. They show the sister naked when she's older, and like and then it's not like sexy, but then it flashes to a little girl, and it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like I feel like he was trying to do something there, but it's kind of weird, you know.
This is what I got from it, and this is what is one of the most amazing parts of this movie to me, is that in those parts. In the same way that the movie kind of depicts this non-linear way of visualizing your life or whatever, I think that he's making connection, like almost like Freudian
it's
type
very
connections,
Freud.
you know, and he's making connections from the sex to birth and the love of your mom and you know there are absolutely definitely connections there. And I think he does it in this weird way that's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable and question it in a sense, you know? And the same way aspect with the brother and sister, I think that I think in a sense what he's showing there is probably something that is, I would say, a cause or a symptom of going through something extremely tragic like they did, and having this insane connection that they do, and being so fucked up and on drugs and how they are, and just the way that would affect a brother and sister relationship, and the weird border lines that would get crossed when dealing with people who have dealt with extreme tragedy and mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he's showing there. Maybe.
And it happens where it happens when they're old enough to perceive it and really know what's going on, but they're still also not like at the age where they're probably liking boys and girls. So it's like liking other people. So, you know, it's like they go through that and they build this intense bond. Yeah, that's why, like, I feel like it, you know, like that's the only reason, like, I was like, okay, like, it, you know, it's still fucking disgusting, but like, I was like, okay, I get what's going on here, you know, like there's this, they built this intense connection, but it's also like disgusting.
No, see what it is. It's like while I was on acid, I couldn't even I couldn't understand it because it was just so disgusting. I just didn't even give it a chance. But as I watched it the second time, I was like, okay, I get what he's doing there. He's wanting to be shocking, but it's not. There's a point to it. And could he have made the same movie and not added that aspect to it? Absolutely. But I think that there's something.
I would say I didn't mind that aspect though. Like the aspect didn't. It wasn't. That wasn't, see, all the things that I feel like most people would find as the shocking and maybe the turnoffs for them, like that wasn't even the part. Like literally the only downside for me was the length and how I felt like towards the end, whenever there felt like there was momentum, they would do this scene where he would like float back out and float to another part of the city. And like, I felt like they kept doing it where it was kind of like interrupting the action. But like as far as like the uncomfortable parts, like I don't know, maybe I want
to like that shit.
Man, I
wish love that as those uncomfortable movies.
I wish you would have. I wish you would have watched it because I'd like to get your perspective on it. Because I think for me that's what it was. Since I saw Climax first, Climax was I was expecting disturbing from this. I was going into this knowing like, okay, it's just gonna be wild. So for me, it wasn't as wild as I thought. That's why I was like, oh, this is a really good movie. It's actually not as bad as everybody thought. Like, oh, whatever. It's like a little brother and sister kissing, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like there's a lot of sex and shit, but it's like, I was like, the sex was like, for me, it was like too much. Where it's like, okay, like it's almost like, all right, you know, it's cool. Like, but it's like, especially that last like 15 minutes of the movie is just all like that sex scene. And I was like, okay, it's where they're going to different rooms. And I was like, it got kind of like boring where it wasn't shocking anymore, you know, which I didn't like.
That's true. That's true. There's something to say to that. That the continual repeating of scenes and visual parts kind of lost its touch after a while. In a sense, one thing that continued to fucking make me feel super uncomfortable and I hated seeing it was the scene with the fucking mom and dad every time. And when the little girl was crying even more and more, terrible. It was horrible. That was the worst part of the movie to me. The like not worst part, but like hardest to deal with part.
Oh, bro. Watch Climax.
Oh my god.
Watch Climax. I'm just telling you, bro. There is. I definitely want to talk to you about it after you watch it. There is a part in that movie that, because I watched it with Frankie, Climax, and I remember we didn't talk like the movie is not. I think you'll find the same thing that I find. That movie is like all like when it starts, it grabs your fucking attention, dude, and it drags you in. And like me and Frank, we were just in it, and then like Paul called her because he was at his dad's, and she had to answer, and it was like an hour an hour into it, hour 20 minutes into it, like when it was getting crazy. And like because the movie is so fucking visually there and like audio wise there, and just like you're actually like into it, because like especially because we've done acid and shit like that, like that's already interesting. I was already dragged into it like a dance party with spiked acid, you know. And then it's like, fuck, dude, like when he called and I finally paused it for a second, like, and had a chance to collect my thoughts, I was like deeply uncomfortable and disturbed. And I remember Frankie too looked at me and she's like, I don't really want to watch the rest. And I was like, no, we gotta watch it. She's like, I feel uncomfortable right now. And I was like, dude, that one I feel is like more uncomfortable. And dude, there's a part that is just like, it honestly is so terrible. Like, it's so terrible. And you don't really, I won't say too much, but it's so terrible. Like, and you see it coming and you're like, he's not going to do this. And then it's so terrible.
Is the movie like low budget looking?
Yes and no. So it's all filmed as like a single shot in a way. So I think it is a single shot actually.
The whole movie?
Yeah, let me look it up real quick so I don't sound like a dumbass. But yes, it's filmed in a way though where it is like that, because the movie is constantly like the camera's constantly moving into different rooms and then into the hallway and then watching them dance. Let me see. I think it is. Let me see, climax. I could be wrong, because I actually read, I think that it was filmed in 14 days. So I don't know if that's possible. So let's see. I
can see that.
Oh, okay. No, that's not what it was. It was just, it's actually shot in chronological order, which I guess most movies aren't shot in chronological order. And I guess
it was like shot in order that it was in the movie order of the movie.
Yeah. So the movie was shot in the order that it was like filmed. The movie is in the same order that it was filmed in, and it was filmed in like 15 days. But but dude, you should watch it, because I honestly feel like that's the reason this movie wasn't as shocking for me, because I know that's a big thing when most people first see this movie, that it's like shocking, and I was like, oh man, after seeing climax, like, I think that was fucking shocking.
I think it might be a lot to do with the fact that we have kind of been into some shocking shit, and especially like you've seen a lot.
True.
Probably not just the climax. True. You know, you probably takes a lot.
But dude, if you watch climax,
dad crying. that was job. Yeah. It's a little rough.
But honestly, dude, I will say, like, I swear, like, I know there's definitely worse, but not worse, because I actually really like climax. I watched it a second time and without Frankie, and it was like, I really liked it. I watched it like a couple days later just because like I couldn't get it out of my head, even though it was so disturbing. I like couldn't stop thinking about it, and like the dancing and the music. The music's fucking dope, dude. It's like Daft Punk and like all this like crazy Europe, like Europe EDM, and it's like fucking, it's badass. But I mean, I know we're getting off topic into a different movie, but it's by Gaspar Noe, and you should definitely watch it. Like,
I do, I will.
I think you'd really enjoy it.
I've been really into watching movies a lot more lately. Like, it's been like I haven't been into watching movies in a while. And
I remember you used to always tell me you hated watching movies.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just never did. But now I'm getting more into it, so I'm definitely want to check it out. There's this movie called Antichrist that looks like it might be
with William Dafoe.
I think so. Yeah. Green Goblin.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen it, but I've always wanted to see it. I think the dude who directed that does crazy ass movies too.
Yeah, it popped up with with this and other shit on YouTube. YouTube got some good movies. But
what's it called again?
Antichrist.
Oh, okay, Antichrist.
You know what you need to see though, bruh, is what that one I was just texting you about, the something wicked. All Things Wicked or something.
Yeah.
Bruh,
I still haven't seen it.
Watch that. And the Ghost Lamp Killer or Gaslight Killer or what? I don't know what the fuck. There's another movie I watched that was fucking dope. But I've been watching a lot more movies. It's been nice. So I'll definitely check that one out. And then there's another one that he did. Obviously, we talked about it. Irreversible. You ain't gonna watch that? I'll watch it if you watch it.
I know the phone died.
I don't remember what we were talking about, bro. I was so drunk. I haven't been that drunk in months. I barely remember talking to you.
I was pretty drunk too, so I don't remember it at all. That's where your phone died. But I don't. Do you know what happens in the movie? Because I know what happens.
Yeah. No, I know.
I don't really want to watch it.
No, I know. Yeah.
I know. So I don't know, dude. Just like, I mean, I'd be down to watch it, but part of me feels like, I don't know.
But it's like a revenge story.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
a
it's
happy
in reverse
story.
order.
It's fine.
That's why it's crazy to me that it ends with like the rape, you know,
Yeah.
like that's like that's
And
it's pretty crazy too,
it's
because it almost, and I don't
so
want to say that he does this after watching the interview with him because he seems like a cool guy, like accepting, but it like from just hearing that story, it sounds like almost like trying to show a sympathetic view of like not a sympathetic view of the rapist, but like look, you know, even though it's revenge, it's still just as bad. Like, because that's what they say. Like, you know, the revenge is really brutal too. So you almost feel bad for this guy, but then you see the end, what he does. But the movie, you kind of feel bad in the beginning, but then you see what he does, and you don't anymore.
That's so cool to me, bro. That's such a mind fuck. That's such a cool idea.
It's definitely interesting. No, for sure. I think the idea is amazing. I'm just not sure. But I'm
real.
down to watch it.
Not real.
I'm down to watch it. I'm done right.
If it was real rape, then you know. But
dude, have you ever seen the Nightingale? Bro, I wouldn't even recommend to watch it because the revenge wasn't worth it. But dude, there's like such a long rape scene in it, and it's terrible. And then they like, I'll just tell you because I don't think you should even watch it because it's not like it's not really like it's pretty boring too, to be honest. Besides the craziness, like, but like they like kill the girl's baby too, but like while the baby's crying and like they like beat it, and it's like it's an A24 film, and then like at first I was like, okay, this is terrible, I hate this, and like Frankie couldn't even watch it, but I was like, she's gonna get these fools. But then the end, like the revenge is like barely anything, and like she kind of pussies out a couple times, and I was like, dude, you can't do this after you just showed me this like 20-minute long scene. It wasn't worth it.
Have you seen the movie where Jesse from Breaking Bad is a rapist, and then I think he gets his brain fried or electrocuted by the dad of the girl he raped? I'm pretty sure that's the thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is Jesse. Yeah, it's called Last House on the Left, I think. Last House on the Left. The Last House on the Left.
Yes. Wait, that's I
believe that's
just a remake.
Yeah, the remake one. I think that's Jesse Pinkman. Look,
but isn't the Last House on the Left with the three dudes and they're like crazy?
Okay, maybe I'm getting the wrong name. Hold on.
I could be wrong too.
Last House on the Left. Aaron Paul. Yeah, 2009. Yeah.
But there's like I thought it was like some. It's with the dad.
Is it the dad? Am I thinking of a different movie?
I think so. I don't know. Let me see.
At the end, there's like an extra scene where the dad gets revenge, or is it the girl, or is it her?
Let's see.
It might be a different movie where the dad gets the revenge.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even see. I don't even. Fuck it. Yeah. It ain't Gaspar Noe. But yeah, I'll check it out.
But I think somebody in the comments should talk about it. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know.
Bro, if you do like this, well, obviously you seem like you like it. I haven't seen this other dude's all his movie. I don't even think I've seen any of his movies. But his name's Lars von Trier or whatever. But he did the Antichrist movie. Oh, but he also did this movie that came out called The House That Jack Built, and it came out not that long ago. And it's with a lot of big actors, like Uma Thurman's in it, a couple other people are in it. But it's about a serial killer. But like it was like one of those movies a lot of people like walked out. But Gaspar Noe gave an interview where he said that he thought the movie was brilliant and was like a hilarious like dark comedy. And like, but dude, everybody walked out because they said like the violence is just so fucking, because like when he kills the people, like they actually like show like the whole killing, dismembering everything, and Gaspar Noe said he loved it. So I've always wanted to kind of check it out, but I heard it's pretty crazy. But he did that Antichrist movie too. He does like crazy shit like that too, like weird ass movies that push. He did that. Have you heard of Nymphomaniac?
Dude, see, you know all these fucking weird ass movies. See, no wonder you're like, it was fine. It was just some incest.
I haven't seen Nymphomaniac, but the movie's like it's about this girl, and she's like, it's split into two parts, like part one and part two, and it's like a tale of this girl who was a nymphomaniac, and like from her first sexual experience, like throughout like I think most of her life. I don't know, I've never seen it, but there's like a lot of the scenes in there like real sex scenes with the actress and shit. So it's pretty much like porn with the story, but like good actors, you know.
Yeah, Gaspar Noe made that porn film called Love too.
Shia LaBeouf's in it too. Yeah. Oh, dude, best story ever. Fucking Frankie's sister. Because I haven't seen Love, but she was over here. It wasn't that long ago, and they were trying to find a movie like a romantic comedy to watch or something. And then Alex was like, she's like, you know what I watched the other day? Because it was on Netflix for a while. She's like, I watched this movie called Love, and she's like, because I thought, oh, romance is about a couple. She's like, it was weird. And then I started cracking up because I knew what movie she was talking about. I was like, dude, I haven't seen it. I was like, how was it? She's like, at first I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then she's like, it gets really just fucked up, you know? And I was like, dude, that's how his other movies are. So I was like, I want to see it though. Yeah. It was released in like 3D too when it came out.
Yeah. Like, I heard about that.
Which is interesting. Dude, how have we not talked about this in fucking Enter the Void? Best scene in the movie, just because I've never seen it before. I've never seen a penis go in the vagina. I was like, oh, shit.
That wakes you up towards the end, huh? That's the thing. Is like it drags on a little bit, but towards the ending is like great. I loved how it ended. Like the last few scenes, I loved it. I mean, I don't know if it was like a perfect way to end it, or if it was like I loved it. I don't know. I liked it. I think it was kind of like purposely the dick thing was kind of purposely shocking and comedic almost. Like
it was funny, dude.
Yeah. I liked it.
When it shot out, I was like,
it's a little cliche, though,
dude.
if anything.
No, I thought honestly, it's gonna sound funny, but I thought the penis in the vagina, that computer angle, I thought it was a brilliant shot. Because like it was something that like I just hadn't seen before. Yeah. Like you said, it was almost like comedic. Yeah. It came after like a long time in the movie. It almost felt like the climax of the movie. Like this is what I've been waiting to see. This is the part that I've been waiting for this whole movie.
Even like the Love Hotel scene, with all the big huge orgy shit, and like it's like there's a lot. There was so much imagery there, and it did drag a little bit. But it kind of was still it was still dope. Like it was hard for me to say that it. I don't know. It's hard. It's like I understand that it dragged for some reason, but it's kind of hard for me to put my finger on why. And maybe you know what I'm saying, because I enjoyed it. I was never bored, like you said, but for some reason it felt maybe it was challenging. Maybe that's just. You know, maybe I don't know who the fuck knows, but I think there's a lot of scenery and things that he wants you to get that are repeatedly slammed in your face, and by doing it too much, maybe the point was, you know, to make you feel a type of way. I don't fucking know. I've already said that, but I liked it.
No,
go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, from what I've read, though, he does like there. I mean, because I haven't seen all the movies. I've only seen these two, so I can't really speak on everything he's done. But they do say like there's obvious like intention, like it's intentional. Like he is trying to provide some shock value, you know, like. But then again, though, but you're right, though. The way it is done, though, it does seem like there is a point behind it, even if you or I or somebody doesn't get it. Like he has a point. Like there is a reason behind the meaning and symbolism of it. Oh shit! What did I just do? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. The interview I read was interesting. That I watched right before I talked to you. It's only like 10 minutes. It was him talking about climax, but he was talking about how I don't know why I thought about this, but how like that movie was. He's like he wanted to do a movie about shamanistic experiences, but he also wanted to do a documentary. And then he's like, there's another type of movie I wanted to do, and he's like, but then it all kind of ended up coming out as climax. And I guess it was made in like it was like written. Filmed in 14 days, and like the whole movie took like 4 months, and he's like, and people were surprised, and he's like, you know, a baby takes 9 months to make, and he's like, this only took 4 months, and he said it was just very instinctual, like, because I also read with Enter the Void, just like with Climax, I don't believe that there's a set script dialogue wise. It's a lot of the dialogues it's made up by the actors. It's all like what's it called? Why can't I think of it? Fucking
improv.
It's a word. Improv? Yeah, like improvisation. Yeah. So that this movie is like that too, and so is I'm pretty sure there are intentional things like the Tibetan Book of the Dead was obviously meant to be thrown in there, but like Climax too, like most of it's not scripted. Like it's for the actors, like to do their thing. Like because he talks a lot about that, like trusting your actors and like getting people who are like, you know, he probably gets people who do his movies probably like you're willing to get into your character, you know, and like do some shit, you know. Like I like him a lot. I do think he's a good director, even though this wasn't my favorite movie, you know. I do think he's a good director.
I think that the directing wise, the angles and the shots, the way the directing in this movie is fucking amazing, like top notch. I fucking the angles, the camera work. Holy fucking shit! Like,
even bro, you'll like Climax more, bro. You'll like it if you like this movie.
I've heard about that. I've heard about that. I've heard about Climax having good shots.
Yeah. But, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I particularly love the way that he basically used this like new, never before used way of. Not, I wouldn't say dialogue, but narrating the story, or what's the word where it's like this I don't know.
The narrative.
The narrative, yes. The way he tells the narrative of the story is all through this spirit, and the way that he cuts between scenes, and it's all being told through this guy's, you know, energy or spirit or go or as a ghost, whatever the fuck you want to say. But using that in a way to tell the narrative of a story was completely original and done in such an insane way, dude. I just was like, it was such a mindfuck. I kept telling Monica the whole time, like, do you see what he's doing? This is like his visual representation of what it's like when you die. Like, how much balls do you have to fucking even attempt that, to even try? Like, no wonder nobody wanted to finance it. They're like, you want to visually show death and being a ghost and a spirit and all this other shit. Like, it is so weird and original. It's fucking amazing, and it's so cool. I just fucking love it, and it goes to. I was saying like how no wonder they didn't want to finance it, right? Because it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's so out there.
It's funny because he talks about it in an interview. He says that when he writes his scripts, he only writes his scripts to be financed, and then as they make the movie, everything changes. So he said that when he the script for Irreversible was only 3 pages, and he just kind of barely like went over the rape scene, and it was like nothing. And then Irreversible became Irreversible.
That's what I heard about, like with the other movies, like that the scripts aren't long, like there's no dialogue. It's just like his idea, and then he
said that he writes the scripts just so that they'll get the financing, and then he makes the movie. That's what he says. He said he doesn't. He did the movie is not in the script. So it's like that's the only way he'll get them to finance it. So he said that's when the struggle begins.
Because that's what I thought that was funny too. Like that, not funny, but like he couldn't get funding for Enter the Void, but he got funding for Irreversible. Mm-hmm. Like I wonder what he told them he was going to do with it.
He said that he took the meeting for Irreversible. Or no, he took the meeting for was it Enter the Void? I believe it was Enter the Void or some other movie. It wasn't Irreversible. And they told him, they said, we're going to take the meeting, but we want to let you know, right as of right now, we're just going to say no, but we're still going to talk to you. And then so when he went to the meeting, he told them, all right, don't worry about that. I think it was Enter the Void. He said, don't worry about that. Let's do this one movie. It's going to be real easy to make. There's no, it's just a rape scene, a rape story told in reverse that ends up being a hero story that's told in reverse or whatever. He tells them the plot, the idea of it, and without a script, without actors, without even a title, and they finance it just based on the idea. So that's how Irreversible got made, by luck. Nice. And he said it was like robbing the bank, and because he just made this movie, luckily, and it was able to like project him into a place where now he can make whatever he wants. So that was super interesting. Yeah. So he's dope, dude. The way he talked about just everything, he's definitely super dope. Yeah. And it's funny because in one of the interviews I watched, he's talking about like all these like students or something like that, and you can kind of tell by the when he brings up drugs and stuff like that they're kind of like off-putting to it. And he's like, I know I can tell that a lot of you guys don't do drugs. He's like, but I'm telling you that you should regret it. It was funny. He's dope. He's cool.
No, in the interview I was watching, he was talking about that too. Like, especially like he's like, for my films, he's like, he's like, he was saying that he's like, I love things that just add to my experience and stuff. And he's like, when I was making Enter the Void, he's like, I was trying to get my hands on any psychedelics I could, do. And he's like, I see it almost as research. He's like, maybe I use the movies as an excuse for me to go do these things, And I was like, that's cool though, like that's. Yeah. It's fucking cool, because like if I was a filmmaker, that's what you should do. You should go, you should know what you're talking about when you go in to do it,
Yep.
He just seems like a cool guy though, and
seems weird as fuck. I don't know if I'd want to be his friend in real life. I don't know. He seems scary.
He seems like he could be a trip,
I'd have to hang out with him in a public setting.
He seems like he's the type of person you'd hang out with and you'd end up awake for 3 or 4 days, just, on a bender with him,
in Tokyo.
He seems like that type of person.
That's one thing I wanted to talk about too, is that the setting of Tokyo for this movie was so fucking perfect. It gave it this
crazy,
almost outer world setting and just
felt like it wasn't real.
Yeah, it almost the movie almost looks like those lo-fi moving pictures. The YouTube lo-fi fucking streams. The whole movie looks like that. It's fucking insane how the energy it creates in that room as it moves around first person. Bro, if they make Enter the Void into a fucking being able to watch it in virtual reality glasses or something like that. Well, actually, the movie, it kind of creates, it already does all that. You wouldn't be able to move your head. It wouldn't be the same thing. But maybe if you just watched it in like that, it might be insane. I never even thought about that. But, right. So would you're not fucking with LSD no more, huh? Like you're like NA?
No, shit. I'm looking at the TV.
That's him punching his mom and his dad.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy. No, I still do. I just haven't in a while, but for sure I would.
Would you watch this on acid? Would you want to? Would you? You could at least you can't see how it would be fucking a fucking experience like.
I think it would be cool for sure in the beginning, but I think halfway through I'd want to turn it off for sure. But yeah, it would be cool in the beginning for sure.
Have you ever virtual reality'd on psychedelic?
Nah, man. I honestly, dude, for the most part, besides Across the Universe at one time at your house and maybe one or two other things, I've never really watched too much movie or TVs on psychedelics. I've watched The Office once and I did not like it, and I love The Office. It was the comedy was so dry, and the in between was so quiet that I was like, "Oh my god, I almost couldn't stand it." And I hated Toby. Toby was the worst. Every time he came on the screen, I was like, "Oh, not Toby." He looked weird on acid. Dude.
I feel like I was there with you when we watched that, and maybe
probably.
I feel like I've seen The Office on acid before at your house.
I would definitely watch it, but I feel like movies for me, it's hard for me to sit and pay attention when I'm tripping.
Makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah, but I would definitely try it.
Mm-hmm. What about Antarctic at Coachella?
I don't know. That's different though.
That's virtual reality. That's the same shit. No, kind of. I mean,
that's true, but
it's a very similar experience. I'll say.
Yeah. But it's you can't. I feel like VR is different because you look around and you see different things. It's not just linear. When I've used VR glasses before, if you look down, you see something.
No, yeah. There is something to controlling the angle of everything. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, which would be different.
That's true. But
I'd be down to do that shit though. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Actually,
I feel like
you might get stuck and then never want to go back to normal life. Oh shit, this world's way better.
Yeah, I can't remember specifically what I did with my virtual reality glasses.
You had some?
I had the little thing that you put your phone in, but when when I tripped, not this most recent time, but the time before that at my old house, I played Max Payne 3, and I was just fucking killing dudes. And it was like, but when I was killing them, I felt this deep empathy for every bad guy that I shot. And it was like, I'd headshot him, and then I'd be like, his family. And it was like, he had kids, and I'd feel it for that empathy for everybody. But in the background, I would tell myself, hearts and minds, baby. And I would just keep going. I'd have to, hearts and minds.
Hearts and minds. Hey, yeah, what they did to Max Payne was pretty fucked up,
Yeah, that's true, man.
They deserved it.
Yeah, they deserved it, man.
Yeah, they put the pain in Max Payne, so he needed to get him back. Dude, I haven't played that game in fucking forever. That first one is crazy. Yeah. Those dream sequences were fucking crazy.
The third one's really good, dude. It's like a new version, kind of like, so it has better graphics and shit, but it's tight.
Dude, I know. I would like to. I don't think. Wait, they came out with another one after 3?
No, just Max. I think just Max Payne 3. It's like it's the newest 3. One though. I think that one came out like 2017 or something like that.
Oh, maybe I haven't played Max Payne.
I don't think you might not have if you haven't. It's pretty recent, I believe. I could be wrong. It's like he has like a 5 o'clock shadow, and he has like a Hawaiian shirt most of the time, and he's like,
I have
the game or something like that. Yeah.
I have played it. I have to come back to the game.
They didn't want me back. No, yeah. So I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to get into on this one? I really fucking loved it. It is definitely a fucking experience. I would say that you should go into it knowing that you're probably not going to be entertained as much as you're going to be challenged. And if you're not into that when you watch a movie, this probably isn't for you. But if you can get through, I don't know what it is about me, but when I take psychedelics, I try to challenge myself and do shit. Like one time I took mushrooms, and I challenged myself to do this DJ mix that I had been working on for like weeks. I called it the Light Shaman Action Mix. And I for weeks, I was like trying to get it right and all my transitions perfectly so I could record it. I ended up recording it. I got it down. But I told myself that I've been working for this. I'm the shaman. I am shaman now. And I built up this whole thing. And I fucking told myself during this mushroom, it was a mushroom trip. I took mushrooms alone at my mom's house, and I just sat there. I sat there. I DJ'd. I did my DJ, my set, my mix. And then I watched The Wall by Pink Floyd, the movie.
Nice. Yeah.
I had all this kind of shit planned out. And I did that mix, and that mix is so fucking weird, dude. It was like dubstep mixed with house, mixed with psytrance, with fucking, I had the Doors and the Beatles and Pink Floyd all throughout my mix. It was a dope ass mix, and I don't have it anymore. It got stolen with my fucking laptop and all our other bullshit. But anyways, I don't know where the fuck I'm going off. I'm just saying I really enjoy doing things when I take psychedelics, and if you're like that, Enter the Void is absolutely one of those things that would be extremely challenging and insanely fun to watch if you have like a theater room, a big TV, or just sit at your computer with headphones on like I did if you're that type of person. But if you're just into movies, this is and you're not looking into having an experience, and you just want to watch something with your girlfriend for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and you think that this is that, it's not.
It's probably not. Dude, I do want to say one thing though that I totally meant to bring up because I had a note about it, was that just because it was interesting, I thought, do you remember in the Immortality Key when the priest talks about I don't remember if he was talking about Tibetan monks. He was talking about some sort of monks. The priest that helps him for a while. Mm-hmm. He seemed like he was like a botanist too and shit. Mm-hmm. He talks about the rainbow. Well, people turn into rainbows, and they have the rainbow. When you die, like your body turns into different colored lights, and like that's what you see in rainbows. They talk about it briefly in the Immortality Key, but they don't really get into it. I kind of looked it up more after. But in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, like there's a lot of the realms are different colored lights. And then also this movie has a lot of different colored of lights. Oh, wow. And then also in the book is one of the parts says that the way to obtain Buddhahood is by the hollow pathway through the Vajrasattva. And the Vajrasattva means the void. And that's the path to liberation. Yeah, so the void, enter the void, the path to liberation, So it is like, It's so there's it is cool. I meant to bring that up when I talked about the book earlier, and I totally.
And then you know what else? You know what else? I could be in the void. Wait,
I could fall in the void.
Fall in the
void. Bro,
it's all at the same time.
Bro, everything's coalescing. That's what I thought too. It's all coming together, man. It's like it's not linear anymore.
Everything's happening at once, bro.
Our podcasts are like every time we do one, it's leading our. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's leading our lives. You know
what we need to start. Yeah, and what we need to start understanding too is like it seems like every time we do a podcast, the people that we do the podcast on end up getting extremely close to the podcast. So we got to start doing these as if we're talking to the people who did it. So Gaspar, hey, ¿qué onda? Hey, is he Spanish?
I think he's French.
But
it could be, yeah. But he that'd be dope as fuck to get him on. I know we wouldn't.
We always say that. It'd be dope as fuck to get any of these people on.
Hey, but what happened with our boy Brian?
I never messaged him. But I don't know.
He probably hated us. He's like, I hate these guys.
I like how he said word. He said word.
And that was still dope. I was all excited when I saw it.
I was so excited, dude. It's so cool. Yeah. So people, for those who don't know, on the last episode, Immortality Key, we did it. Last episode or the one before that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was the last one.
Yeah, we did the Immortality Key, a book by Brian Muarescu, and he ended up replying to a tweet that I tweeted about it and saying, "Word, appreciate it. I'll check it out," something like that. So that was really cool. But yeah, man,
we get there. Yeah. Every time I feel like when we do books, we have better luck with authors, bro.
Yeah, they enjoy that. Authors are on Twitter and they want, books are not like.
Yeah, they're not as reviewed as much. Yeah, so like we gotta really dive into the literature.
Mm-hmm. We'll know what I just
famous around the lit world.
So I was thinking a cool thing that maybe we could start doing towards the end of the episodes is start talking about have like a little segment where we kind of just talk about things that we're like into right now. Like things we're watching, things we're maybe listening to. I have a couple of things in mind. Yeah, we'll just get into it like just in the end of every episode, just to kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up and kind of discuss like fun stuff or whatever. Fucking The Undoing. Have you heard about that? It's a TV show with Nicole Kidman. It's a miniseries.
Oh, yes. Actually, it's on my list. I haven't watched it yet, though. I heard it's good, though.
We've watched 2 episodes of it now, and it's so well done. Great writing. I'm really into it. Because it's only, right? I think it's only six episodes. And I think it's on HBO, yeah. But it's super interesting. It's really well done, and it's like a almost like a murder mystery kind of shit. But
I like Nicole Kidman.
Dope. Yeah, she's tall.
Like Nicole Kidman. That's dope. She's tall.
She played a good vampire. No, but she's dope. She's really dope. I forget how great of an actress she is. And then Hugh Jackman is in it. He's dope. And then there's this. I don't know who she is, but she plays this like really pretty brunette chick, and she's like crazy, I think. But it's a good show. You'd like it. You'd find it.
No, dude, I'll definitely check it out. It's on my list. I've been wanting to watch it. Yeah. We ended up getting into Peaky Blinders.
I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
Whew, hey, it's fucking badass, dude. It's on Netflix. It's about this group. They were actually existed back in the day, but it's just loosely based off this gang. They were called the Peaky Blinders, and it was in like Birmingham, which is in like England, and it's dope, dude. It's just about this gang, and it's about these 3 brothers, and like they're pretty much the ones who like run the gang, the Peaky Blinders, and they're into like horse racing is what it starts out as, and it's back in the day.
Blinders.
It's like
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, it's like it's around when Winston Churchill was oh shit, wait, let me see, hold on.
Winston Churchill's dope.
Yeah, he's a big part of it too. I mean, he's not like in it. They actually do have someone who plays him, but yeah, it's around that time period and shit. It's a good show though, dude. It's dope. I like it a lot. We finished the first 2 seasons in like a day or 2. Like they were good. Oh, yeah. And they're only like 6 episodes a season, so it's cool. There's like 5 seasons though. So
it's kind of old, huh?
It's been on for a while. There's another season coming out next year. So but I don't know when the last season came on, maybe a year or 2 ago. That one's really good, dude. It's on Netflix.
All right.
That and The Queen's Gambit, bro. The Queen's Gambit.
You actually watched it?
Yeah.
You've actually watched it?
You didn't watch?
I've heard really good things about it. I haven't actually watched it yet, though.
Bro, fucking dope. You'd like it, dude. You'd like it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's only one season too, and it's like done. Like there's not gonna be any more. So like you could blow through it, dude. We watched it in like a day. It's so dope. The main girl is just dope. She takes tranks. She's just badass, dude. She takes tranquilizers and she's just like really good. Like that's not giving anything away. Like you'll find that out like quick. It's dope. It's dope.
It's so funny that like everybody says that this miniseries show about this girl playing chess is so dope. Like that's so wild to me that something like that could be dope.
Fucking dude, you watch it, it's badass, and then she's just badass. You know, it's just like witty too, and like she just don't take no shit. You know, it's cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Fucking I've been listening to Sasha Sloan a lot, bruh. Did you ever check her out?
No, I have an album downloaded on my phone, but I have not listened to it yet.
Dude, her writing, I'm telling you, is I don't know if it's like amazing or what the fuck it is, but I connect with it. It's almost as if I was a girl, I would make the music that she makes. I'm telling you, bro. If you listen to the way she writes music, it sounds exactly like Audible shit, but in a girl singing a song, like almost like an indie pop Audible484, bro. But much better than me, more talented than me. But I'm telling you, it's very similar writing. It's weird.
Wait. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, all right.
Can you hear me?
Super off. Your voice, like, yeah, I can hear you, but the talking is like not matching up with at all.
Oh, it's working on my
not
end.
anymore. Like,
but
I can hear you perfectly, and I can see you talking, but it's like all off. Like your like voice is like coming. Your lips are moving after you're talking.
Okay. Maybe let me see. Let me just connect real quick, and then I'll reconnect. Hello.
All right, better. That was weird.
Okay, now you're skipping around a little bit. There's probably just some internet shit going on.
Yeah, but either way, I'll listen to that because I do have it downloaded.
Yeah, check it out.
That sounds interesting. Yeah,
is it working?
I've been listening to that Cuddy, bro.
Yeah. I will. Oh, bro.
We'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait to talk about it.
That's for everybody who's listening or watching. We're doing the Kid Cudi album next, Man on the Moon 3.
I think there's something else I was listening to. Let me see.
There's this band called Dirty Projectors I've been listening to a lot lately. They're so fucking. Their new album that just came out, dude. Check it out. Tell me what you think about it. I've been meaning to actually send it to you because the music is like, it's weird, but it's not like what you would think about when you think about weird. Like it's like fucking 2024 music. Like it's weird, dude. Like, but it's a vibe and it's familiar, but it's weird. It's cool. It's so dope. I've been listening to them a lot. And then there's this other fucking album. You probably wouldn't want to listen to it. It's not something you like want to listen to, I guess. I just randomly kind of got into it. But it's fuck, I forget who it's by, but it was like super psychedelic and weird, dude. Fuck. But it was like an actual, like you would want to listen to it during a trip type psychedelic, like weird Revolution 9 type of weird almost.
Was it a DJ or something?
No. It's a band, I believe, I believe. But I don't. Either way, I don't even know why I brought it up. I can't. I have the album saved somewhere. I might be able to find it.
You should check out 103 Point Never. If like he does crazy shit. 103. He did the soundtrack for that. Did you ever watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler? The movie
I watched the first 45 minutes, but I fell asleep. I need to watch it again. It was
dude, how did you fall asleep during that movie? That movie's so fucking like anxiety ridden and like just fucking just like crazy. Like it'd be hard to fall asleep.
That's true. Like, I do remember it
in your face.
Dude,
that's how that movie and Good Time. You should watch that too. That's on Netflix too. It's with Robert Pattinson, and that's like they wrote that movie for Robert Pattinson, like how they wrote the Uncut Gems for Adam Sandler, and that's just crazy too. It's all about a bank robbery, and it's fucking crazy, dude. They're just like they're movies like the whole time you watch it, you're just like, man, these people are pieces of shit. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, it's cool. But the dude who does the music for both those movies, his name's 103 Point Never, and he's fucking dope. You might like.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Point Never?
Magic 103 Point Never. Yes.
Oh, Magic. I've been listening to Magic. That's just dope.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's super psychedelic and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
he has an album called R+7, and that shit is like crazy as fuck. I listened to it one time with Brandon when we took acid, and I put it on, and I gave Brandon this. I shouldn't have said his last name. Damn it.
I can believe it. Let me write it down.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just because like I know he's doing something with his life, you know. So I don't want to blow it for him. But I took acid with him once, and I put that on because I'd been listening to it a lot, and then I gave him the speaker. We were walking, and this fool at one part, because like that's even crazier than Magic. His older shit, like it's very like I don't even know. It's like all over the place. And I remember Brandon just started cracking up, like laughing, like, and he fell on the floor laughing so hard because he's like, the sounds. He's like, what are these? And I'm like, dude, it's so fucking crazy. Dude, he has some cool albums. He has the one before this too is called Garden of Delete, and which spells out God. It's like an acronym for God. But dude, his albums they're fucking crazy. Like they're very like technical. He does the music for those two movies though too. Yeah, dude.
So
that's cool. They were
hilarious.
Talking about the same.
Yes,
hey, that's cool. Yeah,
that's so dope. That's so fucking cool, bro. That is so badass. I'm so in love with this right now.
I like him, dude.
Yeah, that's dope. No, that was super weird because the way I got into that album, because sometimes I'll go into new releases on Spotify and I'll just go off of the album cover, and that album cover looks super weird, so I just clicked it, and then I ended up listening to the whole thing, and dude, I was just stoned at work, but sometimes when you're in the aisles and you're like looking super down like the aisles, it becomes a trip. And this album was making me like feel, you know, that it made me feel that weird like acid shit. I don't know how to explain it. Just like that weird body tingling, water going through your veins feeling, it just from the music. So it's like I had to save it, and I meant to send it to you. But I guess I didn't even need to, bro. You was already into it.
Dude, I actually that album too, I feel like is one of his like more like, I guess, accessible and like listener friendly albums. Like, because the other albums, some of them are fucking, they get like really deep. Like that one, I'll send it to you, but the one that I'm talking about is like fucking crazy. But I like Magic a lot because of that. Like it has more of a flow, which was kind of cooler to get into. The other ones are just, but they're really good albums. Like I don't even know how to describe them. They're fucking crazy. But dude, he actually did you heard The Weeknd's newest album? The last one after, no, but the last one that came out, After Hours.
Probably
with blinding lights and everything.
Yes, and I think so.
There's a song on there called "Scared to Live." I think it was a single, and 106.Ever is like the producer for that song. It's dope. Okay. The Weeknd is an executive producer on Magic. That's what it says. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he. Yeah, I think they're good friends because of Uncut Gems. Like, because him and the directors, I always see them talk on Twitter too. So, but yeah, I feel like a stalker. But 106.Never is dope as fuck, bro. I like 106.Never. He's cool.
That's fucking crazy. That's so funny. But I mean, you know, I've been really trying to get into like, and we can end with this. It's just like I've been like really trying to get into shit that I actually enjoy, and like I've been starting to kind of understand my own opinion of music better. And it's super weird. With the shit that I listen to is mostly like pop, indie, experimental shit. And kind of, I don't even really fuck with hip hop anymore, dude. It's super weird. Sometimes I'll hear hip hop songs that I used to love and I'll listen to them and I'm like, this just sounds like shitty poetry. Like, this don't even, like, the idea of hip hop kind of sounds corny to me sometimes.
I don't know. For a time, dude, for a time I went through, like, I feel like when we first started doing psychedelics too, where I just stopped listening to rap altogether for a long time. But dude, now like I listen to a shitload of hip hop. Like I would say it's 50-50. Sometimes I'll be literally like a month or two where I'm only in the mood for like you said, indie pop, other shit. But then honestly though, I'm not gonna lie, pretty much every day I listen to a little bit of hip hop. You know,
what like
sprinkled in. Dude, I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of Danny Brown. I've been listening to a lot of Kid Cudi only because I was getting ready for his album too. Let me see. Danny Brown, West Side Gun. I don't know if you listen to Griselda and them. They're like fucking like from Buffalo. They're dope. There's dude, I do listen to a lot of different shit though. I've been listening to that Meg Thee Stallion, dude, Kali Uchis. I don't know if you listen to Kali Uchis.
She's fucking awesome, dude. I love her.
Dude, her last album she put out was in Spanish.
Yeah. Oh no, I love it. I was gonna bring that up. I love it. Yeah.
Dude,
her first album, the other one, Isolation though, that is one of my favorite albums ever, dude.
Have you heard the mixtape before, the EP? That shit is better, I think. It's maybe. Short. It's with Loner, and it's only like 9 songs.
That was the one that came out.
Check it out.
That was out before Coachella, right?
It came Isolation. Out before. Yeah, it came out before Isolation too. Okay. And it's dope. It's like, I'll send it to you if you don't have it. That's my favorite thing she's done. But I like the Spanish record a lot too. Yeah, you'll like it. If you like Isolation, you like it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
fucking yeah.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, well, but either way, I don't want to end like I'm just shitting on hip hop. I still I still kind of enjoy it, but for some reason like the last few weeks maybe, it's just been hard for me to enjoy it in some ways, and it's kind of been kind of weird. I don't know. It just made me like start second guessing things like, did I really fuck with hip hop, or was I just trying to tell myself that I did? And maybe it's more so I'm just kind of changing my opinion, but I still love hip hop. And honestly, I'll say that the hip hop that I listen to is my own. Straight, honestly, 90% of the hip hop music I listen to is me.
That's the best thing I've ever heard, dude. Yeah, that's how it should be, bro. That's how it should be. Yeah. I wish it was the same for me. Yeah, peg it. Yeah. No, yeah, dude. I get it though. Weed roller? Yeah. That's what I was like, get to it. But but dude, I get it, dude. Like sometimes you just need a break from it. Yeah, you know?
Maybe that's what. And
like a lot of the new shit is different. I do like the new shit.
I can't,
especially because Paul like listens to a lot of it. So like, by obligation, I hear some of it. But I try. Some of it is shit. Some of it's terrible. Some of it's kind of dope. Yeah.
The new Brockhampton Ginger album is dope. Let's check that out.
Fucking love, dude. I love Brockhampton.
Do you know the new Ginger one? We never really talked about that one.
Oh yeah, dude, I like that album a lot. It's like a boy band album too. It's dope, you know. I feel like it's cool. True. Yeah, I love that album. That shit's cool.
All right, brother. Everybody, thank you guys for watching. You have anything else you want to say?
Nah,
outro?
Man.
Yeah. All right. GG's.
All right. Yeah.